What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Metal Medication, where I am rebuilding my hard rock, heavy metal music collection because I had sold mine 20 plus years ago to start my business. So, volume number 3, we're gonna get into it. Got some things that I rescued from the Goodwill outlet, the bins, as it's called. And then I also got a box I bought off of Facebook. He put a post up in one of the groups, was 4 or 5 CDs for $30 shipped. And so I just took them. And I don't even remember exactly what I bought. So we'll get into that. So I got some of my black shelves up here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them up here right now. I got 2 more I think I can bring up here. Got a couple of Napa Valley 100 cassette holders to start off with there. So not organized yet. Have not got nothing on the walls yet. So we're still echoey in here. But we're going to get into this. I found this Led Zeppelin book. Compact disc edition. And it goes through all their albums, but not just that, it goes through promos, bootlegs. I mean, it goes through all kinds of, since it's a CD, I guess all the CDs that they knew about at the time of making this book. So their releases, their promo singles, and the bootlegs. So that was kind of interesting. So believe it or not, I never was big into Led Zeppelin. If you watch my other videos, you know I'm more of the 80s guy who loved the glam more than anything, and then the thrash and the German power metal, Halloween, and things like that. So I never really got into classics, so I'm really starting to dive deeper into classics. And I figured out what my problem was when it come to digging into classic music. And as weird as this may sound, I grew up in the city in South St. Louis, South Side, and in St. Louis it's KC 95, and they played the classic rock. And at the time I was trying to separate myself from the inner city. Like my only goal was to escape. I didn't want to live in a 3-room apartment filled with cockroaches in a neighborhood that's, this ghetto that you have thieves and robbers, and then I always pictured classic rock as the guy smoking, drinking a beer with his shirt off, out fixing his car, and I wanted to be far away from that. I didn't want to be in that, so I kind of associated the music with that lifestyle. So I always kind of just veered away from the classic rock because I felt it was going to hold me back, or weird, it's goofy, I know, but as you're growing up and you're trying to get through life, you have little things that motivate you and push you. And that was one thing that I had this mental block, that it was going to hold me back, or I was going to end up like that if I listened to that music or got into it. I didn't want to, since I had the long hair, I was called a hippie and a burnout and a druggie, when I never was any of that. I never did drugs. I only drank 3 times in my entire life, alcohol. So I always didn't want to be associated with that. So I always lumped classic rock in with that, as stupid as that may sound, but that's the way I was. So I am getting over that, and we're getting into, diving deeper into classic rock also. So some of the things I picked up at the Goodwill outlet, we'll start with just the VHS tape, Jimi Hendrix Experience. I've never been a big Jimi Hendrix fan. Of course, I never really dug into him. I always thought he was overrated. But that being said, I never dove into his music and really listened to something. Of course, you hear the Purple Haze and things like that. But I never really got into his story or his life or his music. Because I'm a big person on documentaries and biographies and stuff. I love seeing where somebody came from. I'm not a starstruck type of person. Like if I met somebody, I want to know, instead of, like going crazy over who they are, I prefer to know their life story. Like, what made you do this? What made you do that? But the cool thing about that is when you look at it like that, I look at people like that as a whole, not just, you don't have to be a star. You know, I could see the freaking coked out prostitute on the street. I want to go up and be like, what led you to this? Why are you here? You know, so I love everybody has a story. I've always said that, and I love the story of people. And so that's what I enjoy about music, and also too is what made them write this song, or what was in your head, you know, different things like that. So I also found, so I definitely got to dig more into the, you know, Jimi Hendrix and his background and what have you. But Band of Gypsies, Record Club, CD. So all this stuff I got at the outlet, it averages about 20-25 cents a piece. So the VHS tape, the book, Jimi Hendrix CD there, Sammy Hagar. Did I get these? Yeah. These weren't in the last video, right? Because I don't think so. All right. I don't think so. Maybe they were. Maybe, no, because they were downstairs. Abusement Park. Some of you may not have heard of these if you're not into the more obscure rock items. So, yeah, pretty cool there. I think they've got 2 albums, or they have 2 versions of this album. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Also got this Led Zeppelin Mothership 2 CD set. Also got Slipknot Iowa. Also, while you're watching this, if you down below is a link to a Spotify playlist for this video series. So every time I get stuff, if it's on Spotify, I'm adding it to that playlist. All these items have already been added to the playlist. So if you want to play that playlist, save that playlist, whatever you want to do, follow that playlist. I'm always going to be updating it with new items before I make the video, so you can kind of get an inkling on what I just picked up. We got Hailstorm, Into the Wildlife. And I went yesterday or the day before, whenever it was, and I rescued some more, but they're still in a bag somewhere, so I haven't got to them yet, but definitely got more coming there too. This Progression Through Aggression, or Progression Through, Aggression too. I don't know. I haven't thrown this in yet to see. There's a list of some of the artists and what have you on there. This wasn't on Spotify, and I didn't look individually, which I should have. Duh. But I didn't. So we got American Head Charge, The War of Art CD. We got Hinder, was Extreme Behavior CD. And I was surprised I found these. I was like, kick your ass. So we got Kill Switch Engage, The End of Heartache. So I was surprised to find that, and then find these. In Flames, Boom and Boom. Biggity Bam for 25 cents a piece at the Goodwill outlet. So that was kick-ass. And then I also got a bunch of cassettes. I had a cassette field day over there, man. I had a huge tote bag filled with cassette tapes. Most of them I'm reselling. They're going to be in my eBay store, redoptionagency.com. And that's all genres beside my metal, hard rock, classic rock, thrash, whatever I got here. So we'll just go through these real quick. Steppenwolf. Never really was in Steppenwolf, so I'm going to give them a more listen, get more deeper into them. Bon Jovi. I got 2 of those, so that anything I get duplicate of will be in my store, redoptionagency.com. Billy Squier, Emotions. Never really got into Squier, so I'm going to get into him more. Aerosmith, Pump. Europe, Out of This World. LA Guns, Hollywood Vampires. Love this album. Crystallize, I Still Love You. Oh, sorry. ZZ Top, Eliminator. Just that. Don't do that again, James. Bad Company, Dangerous Age. Skyscraper. Billy Idol, Vital Idol. He's the one that called Dr. Feel Good. Want to hear a story? When this was going to come out, me and a friend, we didn't have access to a car that day because my dad was at work. So we walked. It was probably easy 5 miles there, 5 miles back, to a record store, Music Vision, I believe was the name of it. And we had money from ourselves and all of our friends who wanted the album who couldn't walk with us that day. We got there when they opened, and we ended up buying, I don't know, 4 or 5 CDs and several cassettes for ourselves and our friends. So remember when that album came out. So we got some Scorpions, Crazy World. I couldn't get the name of the album out. Singles soundtrack. Great soundtrack. Thing about some of the, I love Mother Love Bone, man. Mother Love Bone to me is like the best thing that's ever come out of Seattle. There's just something about the feel, because you get the best of like this mellow with the glam feel. I love Mother Love Bone. Everything else, especially on this soundtrack, I have to be in a mood for, because it can be depressing, and I love more upbeat, energetic, fun stuff, or just power fun stuff like Halloween. You know, that's a band that's got the power and got the fun along with it. If you're familiar with their music, you know what I'm talking about there. Supertramp Paris. Never listened to that album. As I said on the last one, never really got into Boston, so we're going to get more into Boston. Don't Look Back. And I think what I'm going to do is start doing some reaction videos to maybe some, I don't know what I can do. I know there's a lot of legal crap with music and stuff, but when I listen to some of these albums for the first time, maybe I'll do some kind of video montage or something. I don't know. Winger gets a lot of crap, but great musicianship in that band. Of course, you already know that. The Cult Love. Unless you're like a big metalhead, thrash head watching this, and you still have that stigma where, oh, I can't listen to Winger because Lars was throwing them darts at the dartboard, you know. Hopefully nobody these days still has that stigma, but I know for a fact they do. But hopefully you can overcome it, because you know what? Nobody here is judging you. Good music's good music, period. Forgot to talk about it. Lean into it. Joan Jett. Got Foreigner 4. And I've been listening to this because I put the Spotify playlist on random when I'm working. And the cool thing I found too, Van Halen 5150, I mean, come on, classic, is if you use the Spotify, the web browser Spotify instead of the app, there's a button down to the left over, but if you click it, it'll pop the album cover up on your computer screen, and no matter where you are on your computer, you'll still see that down in the corner of your screen, and you can move it around if you need to. But I thought that was cool, especially with some of this music that I'm not familiar with. I'm like, wonder who that is. I like that. Now I can put that album on my screen, so when I'm working, I know who's playing. All right, we got the censored cover, so I'm sure we'll get the uncensored, which I think I got some in my store, which I need to grab one before they sell out. GTR. Kiss, Rock and Roll Over. It wasn't the only Kiss I found, as you'll see on the albums when I get to the albums. Bon Jovi, self-titled album, classic. I love first albums. There's just something about the rawness and the not just the rawness, but that hunger that's in first albums that just can never be duplicated in anything else. You know, the Bon Jovi first album, Too Fast for Love, you know, just goes on and on with just about every band. That first album is just something special. And I love that. I love first albums. Def Leppard, Pyromania. Another Bon Jovi. There's Sammy Hagar, VOA. Best of Rockers and Ballads. Scorpions. GNR Lies. Hysteria. I got 2 of those. I already put one up in my store because those sell pretty quick. Hysteria sells for about $6 a pop, and they sell quick. At one time, I had like 14, 15 of them in my store at one time, and probably sold them all within a month. So, and The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. I remember me and a friend, the same friend we went to Motley Crue, we were both big Crue heads, went down to Union Station here in St. Louis and watched the movie. Went over to, I don't remember the store in Union Station, Camelot or Music Biz or whatever it was. And I bought the cassette. We both bought a cassette just for the Motley Crue song Rock and Roll Junkie. So, yeah. All right, albums next, and then I got a few little oddball stuff. I had never heard of this artist, Susie Quarto. I like it. I really do. It's in Spotify. It's on the Spotify playlist down below. So if you want to check it out, check out my playlist. It's almost like the first thing that popped in my head when I was listening to it was Joan Jett with bubblegum. So it's like a bubblegum version of Joan Jett. That was the first feel I got when I started listening to it. So take that for what it is. Aerosmith's first album, Dream On. So, and all these are in decent shape too. So, all right, another Steppenwolf. Go figure, a lot of Steppenwolf. Got this sealed, so I'm not going to open this. Another band that I've never really big into, but of course I know who's in it. I know their history. I've listened to other stuff that they are in, so I definitely going to go backwards. And we got Styx. So Cornerstone sealed. I wish somebody didn't rip off the hype sticker. That sucks ass. Hype stickers are the shit. All right, we got Kansas Left Overture. Another band I never really got into, but of course I know some of their music. So definitely in the playlist if you want to hear some of this stuff. That's what I'm going to like about my playlist. My playlist is going to be everything from In Flames to Styx. And that's the music. That's just, I love the broadness of music. So if you're just narrow-minded, that playlist ain't for you. Another band I've never listened to. I don't even know if I could name one song by this band, believe it or not. So I've got to check them out. And I don't think all the times I've listened to my playlist that this has come up yet because I don't remember it. So yes, Close to the Edge. So I don't really know too much about Yes at all. So like I said, I don't even think I can name one of their songs. And more Kiss, Rock and Roll Over. So we got the Rock and Roll Over cassette. Now we have the Rock and Roll Over album. And believe it or not, before I was even into metal, when I was figuring out music, I learned that I love storytelling in music. And somehow, I don't know if it was a yard sale or what, when I was a kid, I came across two albums. One was this, the other was, what's that song? Big Bad John. I don't remember who sings that. Leroy or not Leroy. That's another song I'm thinking of that has a cool story. Leroy Brown. But I can't remember who sings it. But that 12-inch I had, and I have this, and I didn't know who these guys were. I don't know, I was probably 10 or 11 maybe. When did this come out? I don't even know. What year was this? 70 what? Damn it, 76. 76 I was 5, so I was definitely, yeah, I was probably about 10. I found this and that 12-inch at a yard sale, I think it was, and I didn't know who these was, and I put it on, and I kind of got lost in it. I'm like, man, this is different. This is crazy. And I even drew the cover. I had some paper, and I probably still have that in storage somewhere, where I actually drew the cover. And I remember listening to it a couple of times and thinking, man, this is like nothing I've ever heard. And that's what started the ball rolling. And then 3 or 4 years later, when I started getting into Quiet Riot and Van Halen and stuff like that, it's when I really started getting more into the metal. But that was my first inkling into metal, but yet I didn't realize it, didn't know what metal was. I just knew I had this colorful record that I loved to draw, and it sounded different than anything else I've ever heard. So, and then we have Destroyer. Can you believe, I can't believe I found these at the freaking outlet bins. And it's got, of course we got the sleeve, but we also got, biggity bam, the Evolution Kiss book. And we also got the poster. I gotta be careful here, so I'm doing this. Let's look. Somebody's had this hanging up. It looks like. Oh wait, this ain't the poster. This is another book. I was thinking it was a poster. Never mind, it's not a poster, but it's a cool ass book. So I never had this on album. So when I had my first metal collection, when I sold it all, I didn't have that many albums. It was mostly CDs because I'd worked in the music store from 92-ish to 2001-ish. And so it was basically all CDs and cassettes for me. So never really had the albums. This was a newer music store, Blockbuster Music, Warehouse Music, stuff like that. And Journey Departure, another band I never really got big into, but we're going to. So that's it. And then I got some of these little goofball things. Well, these couple little goofball things here. And there's I saw them and I had to get them just for the ads alone, right? Mad Season and Skid Row's Subhuman Race on a comic book, Goddess comic book. I saw that. I'm like, ooh, I'm getting that. I'm getting that. We'll put those up on the wall somewhere. So there it is. And then now we got to open this. All right. We got the, ooh, I almost slipped my finger there. This thing's probably so dull because I had to cut up like freaking 5 huge boxes with it. So I need to open that up and see if there's another blade in there. This thing, because it needs a new blade. I'm going to let you see them before I do, just so I don't remember. Oh, I saw the top one, but there we go. All right. So, of course, LA Guns. I mean, love LA Guns. I remember when the album first came out, man. Sex Action, Electric Gypsy. I'm trying to think. I'll have pictures of the video. Electric Gypsy. But, man, love this album. And of course, Faster Pussycat. Got your number off the bathroom wall. Oh yeah, Circus of Power. God, I love that. You know what I need to listen to? Rock City Angels. I'm gonna go listen to Rock City Angels. Haven't heard Rock City Angels in a long time. But yeah, Circus of Power. Gotta love that. Cut out. Wasp, Crimson Glory. One of the most underrated artists ever. I mean, really. Blackie. I never had the 2 album disc. I had the 1 album, or the single album when I had my collection. Never had the 2 ones, so I have to see what's on that. These I'll have to add to my Spotify playlist, so I'm going to take those back downstairs so I can add them. Kiss Double Platinum. Biggity Bam. Striper to Hell with the Devil without the original cover, but that's all right. And I'm not religious, but people are like, well, how can you listen to Striper? You're not even religious and blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't believe in hell, but I'm going to listen to Highway to Hell, right? So why wouldn't I listen to Hell with the Devil? You know? So, like I said, it's all about the story. So, I don't know. I listened to the new Striper and it was all right. I don't know. It just seemed like there was, it's almost starting to feel like, I can't say it's starting to feel like Bon Jovi because they are definitely harder and they're staying edgier. But I'm going to have to listen to the whole album. I haven't listened to the whole album yet, just some singles off of it. So, is the whole album even out as I'm writing this? Or typing the tape. Recording this, I do not know. This album I've never had in my collection. The Runaways live in Japan. So I watched that special, the Runaways movie on Netflix a couple of times already. So, like I said, I love the stories behind people. All people. So that's it for this video. And I got these, but this video is already running long, but I'll just show them, I guess. I found these. These were in storage. Metal Rules album. Chris Jericho, Jim Brewer. Of course, you know, two metalheads. Chris Jericho with a lot of knowledge, who also loves Halloween also. I think he's got a Halloween tattoo, don't he? Maybe? I don't remember. But got a lot of different stuff in there. So maybe we'll do some special magazine editions of videos where if I set up the camera, I can page through it and maybe see if it's close enough for you guys to actually read, so you could like pause it and actually read a whole magazine on video. And I'll see if I can do something like that. I don't know, that's pretty small print. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but Jason Mewes. And then a couple of other videos or magazines that I found that I had laying around for years. These are like from 2001, but it had this one has a Slipknot story in it, or an interview or something. And this one had an Ozzy with DMX on the cover. So yeah, we're getting things rolling. I still got to get this room cleaned up exactly and get it set up the way I want to, which of course will change probably many times over this transition, over this collection. I'm sure it will outgrow this room pretty quick, but I got to keep it all in here. So I got to figure that out. All right. Please like, subscribe, and all that jive. And I will see you in the next metal video. Later.